Hello and welcome to the first real episode of SARL Talk. After the success of the pilot episode, we decided to do a proper one. Obviously this way, there's not going to be all three of us in the room because it's hard to get to us. This week's is basically off the Super 8s, thoughts on round 7, both in the Super League and the Middle 8s, general discussion really, and player of the week selections.
Yo, welcome. This is my take on the weekend's action. Whereas to start, Ryan Hall's winning try on Friday night. It looked like he was heading for a draw. It was terrific. A little chip from Maguire. Hall took it ahead of Grix and ran through to win the League Leaders Shield for Leeds. That was a massive try for the Rhinos because they will now play St Helens at home in the semi-finals, a game they will fancy winning, especially having beaten St Helens in the big matches this season, the Challenge Cup semi-final being won. That now means the other semi-final will see Wigan Warriors take on Huddersfield Giants. Huddersfield will be very disappointed after this weekend, but Wigan themselves will also be disappointing, having come so close to the League Leaders Shield. That will be another terrific semi-final. For me personally, and I think for a lot of people, they see it as a Leeds-Wigan grand final. But I'm not so sure. I think Saints and Huddersfield, I think one of them will make the final. Don't ask me which one. But I think the Leeds-Wigan grand final everybody's hoping for might not happen.
Hi Sam, hi everybody. Been an amazing weekend. Just a stunning finish to the Super League season on Friday. Couldn't believe it. What more can you say? I mean, okay, Leeds were a little bit fortunate. Obviously, I think they had a couple of decisions from Hicks, the referee. Not so sure. I mean, obviously there was a knock on the Leeds line. It wasn't a penalty, but that's the way it goes. I mean, okay, Leeds probably a bit unfortunate to win the night, but Leagues have won over a season, not just on one night. So they've been the best team. I've said it many a time. They've been the best team over a season by quite a distance from me. I think really the only thing that's hampered them has been the Challenge Cup final like it did last year. They seem to be back now. They played well. I mean, Huddersfield probably the better side of the night, but like I said, I mean as for Wigan, I mean it's snatched from them really. I don't think they expected to win it. I think most Wigan fans probably thought that Leeds would win on the night, but it's ironically I think probably what you could say probably cost Wigan in the end now was that first day defeat at Widnes. I'm sorry, not the defeat. It was a draw at Widnes. Sorry, yeah. There were 20 points up against 12 men. Widnes come back. There was a lot of bad discipline on the night from Wigan, and Widnes come back and forced an amazing draw. That probably is the point. You said it then. It could have been costly, and as it turned out to be, it probably could have cost Wigan finishing top of the league after all. But like I said, on we go now to Thursday and Friday. Two fantastic semi-finals lined up. Wigan against Huddersfield, and Saints, who lost on Thursday to Warrington, played well in their final game. I've got to mention Joe Monaghan, 145 tries in 145 games. Absolute club legend he's been for them over the last few years. Fantastic. And Saints go to Leeds. 2 games, there'll not be much in it on the handicap, so I'll review them obviously in the betting reviews. But I can't really split them at the minute, I have to be honest. But it's looking really good, I must admit. Yeah.
On the subject of the Super League round 7, obviously a bit of a catch-22 for me. It was brilliant to see Wigan struggle against Castlewood 47-12. It was a little gut in the last minute of the game. We got the news from Huddersfield that Leeds had won in the last minute and took the lead in the Shield. Obviously, it was no surprise to me that St Helens lost against Warrington. The biggest surprise of the weekend has to be really Catalans. They're not very good away, so to beat all was a bit of a shock for many, I'd say. As for the Middle Eights, I covered 3 of the games this afternoon and the Halifax one yesterday. The Halifax one was a bit of a surprise that Bradford did rest so many players ahead of a £1 million game, and to see Halifax score 52 points was amazing. I mean, they finished 6th, Halifax. They got a really big boost, and they've got to be my team of the 8s, really, for the Middle 8s. Nobody expected them to do anything. They expected to do nothing themselves, really. Salford really was a bit of a surprise, to be honest, because against OKR, to be 22-10 up at half time and then lose 46-22, that was a big shock. But OKR 7 out of 7. I expected them to finish top of the 8s in the middle, so I was quite no surprise with that really. The rest, Lee to finish bottom with only 1 win, was a bit of a shock. As with the Sheffield unbeaten Wakefield, it means Wakefield and Bradford both go into a £1 million game on the back of a defeat.
Yeah, it's been a bit the middle 8. I mean, we've had today, Hull KR ended up finishing top of the process. I'm not sure what they get for that. I think it's probably just money, to be honest. Once you're in the top three, I think you're basically playing for more money the higher you finish. But they beat Salford. It looked like one stage Salford looked like they could pick them. I think they were winning by about 10 points at one stage. I think 16 points Salford win today would have made them finish top of the middle eight. Obviously, you've got Widnes are going up with Salford and Hull KR, and obviously you've got Wakefield now at home against Bradford in the £1 million game. So after all this, we could end up with 4 Super League sides staying up and no one getting promoted. So I think that probably needs looking at for next season. I think Leigh have been very unlucky. They've played well all season. Paul Rowley's told us before at SARL that he doesn't rest players, and he went all season, and they've just come unstuck in this process. They've signed a lot of players today. They've signed Chase, signed Hansen as well. I think they signed Mutai as well. So they've done really well. They've got Patterson on board. So they'll be looking strong next season. They'll be looking to come back strong and making a big improvement if they get to the middle eight process again. It's been okay the middle eight. Like I said, it probably needs a little bit of tweaking. It's a bit unfair if you get the feeling you would like to see at least one team promoted, but fair play to the teams that are already there. The £1 million game coming up. Obviously, Wakefield beat Bradford quite heavily at home in the actual process, so we'll see what happens there. If Gas goes back, you never know. I mean, Bradford and Wakefield heavily beaten this weekend. Looks like they've rested players, which didn't go down too well with other teams, but that was always going to happen. It's going to be a massive game. It's going to be really exciting. Let's see what happens. But I think you've got to take Wakefield, I suppose. The Super League side playing at home. I think it'll be a better game if it was at Bradford. Really, be more people there for certain. But yeah, unfortunately, I do think Wakefield will probably just about win that one. And we're looking at 4 Super League sides saying up, no one being promoted, which is a bit disappointing, really. But I mean, I suppose that's the way it goes. Also today, we'll have to mention the fantastic guard of honour for Adrian Morley. I think we put it on our Facebook page. I mean, this guy's an absolute legend. Done it on both sides of the world. Legend across in Australia, went over there, smashed the Aussies. I mean, even after 13 seconds of it internationally, did it. I suppose it was, he's a legend, isn't he? They're allowed to get away with anything, and we wish him really well in his retirement. Adrian Morley, been an absolute superstar for Super League, and thanks for the memories, Adrian, and enjoy your retirement.
As for Player of the Week, I mean, for a personal view, Manfredi 4 tries tonight. Really did well for me, I'd say. Lynham to score 4 on his farewell for Hull. They're the ones that stand out. Obviously, without having a proper analysis of the games, I can't really think of anybody else at the moment. As far as the general thoughts, I mean, it was nice with it being the last week. See a bit of a farewell, Adrian Morley after a career. Tom Lynham going to Warrington. A lot of other players. It's nice to see the farewell. Chris Wilmot to kick the last goal. That was quite tough for him, to be honest. So I was getting close to the season. On a farewell. It's been an emotional season overall. Grand final playoffs. There's going to be a lot of importance on them after the 8th. So I think it's been one of the best seasons, both on and off the pitch, for good and bad reasons.
My player of the week this week it's just going to go for Manfredi and the lad at Hull who scored 4 tries, Tom Lynham as well. Both amazing in the season games to tallied like that 4 tries in the Super League games. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, obviously, it's had no Ryan Hall really. I mean, he made the most the biggest contribution, I suppose. But he was poor in the game. I think if it wasn't for what he'd done earlier on in the game, he probably wouldn't have needed that late try. So that probably just about ruled him out. I mean, as for my teams of the week. Again, you are looking to Leeds, really, aren't you? They finished top of the league, but they didn't really play great, Leeds, did they? I mean, I would probably more like go for Warrington. Warrington were fantastic away from home. They played really well at St Helens on Thursday night. Okay, Saints looked a bit tired off the derby the week before, but yeah, I definitely have to say Warrington would be my team of the week. And well, as for my second, possibly Hull KR, to be honest. I mean, they come back from quite a few points down against Salford and won the game second half. And it was probably a tough one when Adrian Morley last game, and I think Salford have been up for that, and that was a good win for Hull KR. They ended up finishing top of this middle eight process as well, which is well, fair play to them. They've more than deserve to keep their place in Super League for next season. So I think my teams for the week would definitely be Warrington and Hull KR. Okay, I'll see you later.
Moving down to the middle eights, well, it was a terrific last weekend. Hull KR making it 7 wins from 7. Brilliant second half performance against Salford. They beat my pick for our team of the week because it's been a terrific middle eights for them. I think a lot of the fans were disappointed when they missed out on the top 8s in Super League, but the middle eights have been brilliant for them. They've won 7 out of 7. They've been brilliant throughout, and they will go into their next season in Super League in very positive fashion. obviously Wakefield and Bradford are in the £1 million game next week. That's going to be a belter, but both of them suffered defeats this week against part-time teams. Halifax, absolutely fantastic in the second half at Odsell, ran away with a fantastic win. Steve Tyra in particular was very, very impressive. He kicked 6 goals, he scored 3 tries. He will be my personal choice for player of the week. And Wakefield, they were defeated by Sheffield. Sheffield themselves finishing the season on a high. They have found it tough at times in the middle eights, but they were absolutely terrific against Wakefield. It wasn't a particularly weak Wakefield side, and Sheffield showed that they will go into next season as a full-time club this time, very much intent on making or having a much better dig at making it to Super League. That's my take on the weekend's action. Stay tuned. This is SARL Talk. See you next week.